From your local election headquarters, this is Election Night in Michigan on News 8.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Sterling.
I'm Amber Kriska. It is election night in West Michigan. Just a few hours ago, the polls closed, and some of the results are coming in.
Tonight, we're following several mayoral races, school millages, and topics that are important to you.
We have team coverage tonight. News 8's Katani Gooch is in Muskegon, but first we want to start with Duncan McLean in Kentwood with the mayoral race there. In that race, Monica Sparks is challenging incumbent Mayor Stephen Kepley.
And Duncan, earlier tonight, you spoke with Sparks and Kepley. How were they feeling?
Brian, Amber, both a little apprehensive. We're live here outside of Kentwood City Hall as those votes continue to be tallied in this local election. We did visit both results parties for those candidates, but they both wrapped up around 10 o'clock without any official indication as to who won the race. So they're feeling a little apprehensive as they go home now to continue watching those results come in. It was a great turnout, according to the clerk here in Kentwood. They said they actually ran out of I voted stickers in a couple of polling places and ran out of ballots at one of their larger polling places, though that was quickly remedied by fast and calm work by local election workers there. We're told by voters and a poll watcher that everyone in line was still able to vote when they wanted to. No issues to report as far as the count here in Kentwood so far, so those results continue to be tallied as we speak. We asked both candidates as their parties wrapped up what it feels like to have run the race but not know how they finished just yet.
We feel good about what has happened here. We pulled it through in the sense of we worked as hard as we could. We went the distance. We had a great strategy, a great plan. We stuck on positivity, did not go negative. It's not me anyway, but sometimes when people are feeling anxious, they start to do things that reflect a different character. So I'm very thankful that we were able to stay true to who we are and be positive.
I am not relaxed, that's for sure. I do not sit down, I stand up, I pace. I do talk to everyone. I greet everyone, talk to them. I'm so glad they're here, thanking people for all they have done. But yeah, it's a very intense time.
We also asked Stephen if he did anything differently this time around. It's his fourth challenge since he officially took the mayor's office back in 2013. He said this year he made a video, that's new, but said it really comes down to knocking on doors and making relationships. Monica, for her part, said regardless of the results, she's proud of the effort they put forward and will cherish the relationships they made along the way. You want to stay tuned on woodtv.com overnight as those results continue to come in, and join us again for Daybreak as we wrap things up here. For now, live in Kentwood, Duncan McLean, News 8.
Yeah, okay, Duncan, nothing official yet. We're still waiting on that. Look for those results online. Thank you for that live update. News 8 also following a number of other mayoral races in West Michigan.
In Kalamazoo, David Anderson is seeking his fourth term as mayor of Kalamazoo, and he did it. He's the winner with just over 55% of the vote. And we're also watching mayoral races in Holland, South Haven, and Portage. We are still waiting on all of those results.
One of those mayoral races is in Muskegon. Bob Garrettson is challenging incumbent Mayor Ken Johnson.
News 8's Katani Gooch joining us live from Muskegon with the latest. Katani?
Yeah, it's just over 11 here, which means it's been just about 3 hours since those polls have closed, and both mayoral candidates, that's Bob Garrettson and incumbent Ken Johnson, have been at their respective watch parties, surrounded by friends and family, watching those results come in. And right now we are at Mayor Ken Johnson's watch party right now. It's kind of winding down. They've been going hard for the past 3 hours, celebrating, cheering each other on, giving speeches. And like you said, we do not have official results, but Mayor Johnson did just declare victory about 30 minutes ago, and before the hugs were exchanged, before tears were shed, I did get to pull him aside and talk to him a little bit about how that felt to declare that victory just a few moments ago.
It's not just about winning. It's not about my winning. It is about serving this community and seeing Muskegon grow and become a stronger, more vibrant, dynamic, inclusive community. And so this is work that we're doing day in and day out across this community, not just elected officials, but everyone pulling their weight to support the continued revival and renewal of Muskegon.
And as I mentioned earlier, as well as Duncan mentioned, we don't have those official numbers in yet. So if you stay with us on woodtv.com, we will have those official numbers overnight into the morning, where you can see how those results played out throughout the evening. Send it back to you live in Muskegon. Katani Gooch, News 8.
Rockford Public Schools seeking a $230 million bond to fund improvements to nearly every building in the district. Among the proposed improvements are adding air conditioning to remaining schools that need it, electronic door locks for all classrooms, and the addition of gyms or cafeteria facilities for the schools that don't have both. The money would also be used for upgrades to infrastructure and playground equipment, as well as bus replacements. So the votes are still being tallied, but right now that proposal is sitting at 60% no and 40% yes. About 30% of the votes have been tallied.
Comstock Public Schools is hoping voters in that district will pass a bond geared toward infrastructure. It is a $31.8 million bond. The school wants to finish renovations, which include new roofs, updating air conditioning, and parking lot repairs. They also want to add on to several buildings. It would increase the millage rate by 0.5 mils. And right now the results are showing that 57% are against, with 30% of that vote in.
Voters in Lowell Township will decide on a millage to provide funding to continue spraying for the invasive spongy moth. The township's been using the general fund to cover the cost, but says it no longer has the funding in the budget. The proposal asking for 0.5 mil over 3 years. Right now, a majority of the votes have that proposition passing, with 75% of the vote in.
Grand Haven voters have passed a millage that will fund upgrades to the city's public safety facility. Their building was built in the 1970s. Officers in the department have described structural problems like cracks in the foundation, peeling paint, crumbling concrete, among other things. The largest concern is carcinogen management after a fire. Modern guidance calls for soot and ash to be washed off the skin within an hour of fighting a fire. The current setup in Grand Haven makes that difficult and allows those carcinogens to wander around the entire public safety facility. That millage has passed with 58% of voters in support of it.
Our election coverage continues throughout the evening and into the morning on Daybreak. You'll also be able to find the latest results online at woodtv.com.